Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today with the week ahead reading, and this is for Sunday the 30th of November through till Sunday the 7th of December. I can't believe it's December already, can you? It really will be Christmas soon. It just feels like this year has just absolutely flown by, don't you think? So, as per usual with my collective readings, they're obviously not for a specific person. They are a sampling of the energy that is currently around. So take what resonates for you and leave the rest, obviously. I do have a disclaimer in my description box if you'd like to read that, which will explain a little bit more about these readings. I'm trying to think about the astrology for the week. What have we got? We've got Mercury emerging out of the retrograde, haven't we? So, and it actually links with Jupiter and Saturn, I think I remember reading, which might suggest things starting to feel a little bit better, seeing some movement and some growth, where things might have been stuck, you know, always the way with Mercury retrograde, isn't it? And then on Thursday we've got a full moon, haven't we? And that's a full moon in Gemini, which is Mercury's sign, isn't it? Gemini, along with Virgo. And I think that this might suggest to not get too carried away with communication, to not rush some conversations, perhaps. That's how that's feeling to me, because I think there would be a feeling of wanting to communicate a lot. So perhaps that's suggesting that a little bit of restraint might be a good thing this week, if you do have any important conversations, to not rush them. So I'm just cleansing the energy of my cards, because I do use these cards quite a lot. This is the Tarot of the Abyss. I have given them a good shuffle. So just cleanse the energy and the space here. Then we'll move that over to the side, because I don't think I'm going to have room for that on the table as well. So, as I said, I'm going to use the Tarot of the Abyss, and I'm going to follow the same as I did last week, which is it will be a 9-card spread. It will be 3 cards for the theme of the week, 3 cards for what needs to grow, and 3 cards for what to let go of. And at the end, I'm going to pull a card from the Power Animals Oracle cards, which is a deck I've had for a long time, and it really did call to me this morning. So I'm going to pull a card from that and see how that fits in with the reading. So, for the collective, please, if we could have some energy for the week beginning Sunday the 30th of December through November, through till the 7th of December. Thank you. Oops. Sorry about that. I've got the camera down quite low. I hope everybody's okay. It's been a bit milder here in the UK the last few days. It's absolutely tipping down with rain at the moment, and quite gloomy and horrible. I hope that you all had a nice Thanksgiving in America. I know that you've just had that. So yeah, 3 cards please for the theme of the week. Oops, I'll put that back on the bottom. So we have the 8 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the Fool. So for the theme of the week, it looks like with the 8 of Pentacles that there's a feeling here around needing to focus and practice something, to give your attention to something. So it might be that something is going on at work, or something that you're studying, or something that you're doing at home requires your attention. You know, in this card here, this man, he's building a wall, isn't he? Which, you know, I'm sure as he goes will get better and better as he practices, as he hones his skills. The wall will get stronger and neater and better, and his sense of accomplishment and achievement will get better as well. So this is a card about giving your attention to something. The Page of Cups is a card of a sensitive, sort of emotional energy. It could be a young person in your life. It can sometimes represent an underdeveloped aspect of your personality, or of somebody else's personality in your life. Somebody young and growing. Pages deliver messages. So it could be that at the moment there's somebody in your life that is requiring your attention. You might be teaching somebody something, or teaching yourself something to do that you don't know how to do. And I'm feeling that as well here because of the Fool. You know, the Fool is about new beginnings, isn't it? The Fool is a free thinker. They can be a little bit impulsive. They can be quite carefree. Which also I feel is an energy that fits in a little bit with the Page of Cups here, doesn't it? That sort of carefree, that sort of carefree energy. So yeah, there could be, for the theme of the week, there could be a new project that you're starting, something that you need to put your attention and your focus onto. It could be that there's somebody in your life that you're trying to teach or help or support with something new in their life. Let's see how the cards go as we move through this reading. So we'll put those there. What did we have at the bottom of the deck there? We had the Two of Pentacles, which is juggling, isn't it? It's trying to balance certain things in your life. Needing to be quite flexible, I guess. Building a foundation, which we see a little bit of here, don't we? So I think there's certainly, as the theme of the week, something that might be new, or just something that you're learning or you're teaching somebody else to learn, whether that's at home with your children or somebody in your family or at work. Yeah. And I think here as well, with the theme of the week as well, it to me, it has a feeling of like there needs to be a focus on your emotional state about whatever it is that you're trying to achieve here or start or get going, this new beginning. Because it's going to need your focus and your attention. So it's a time to keep your emotions under control, I guess, isn't it? To to be mature about whatever it is that you're having to do. So what needs to grow this week, please? Or what is there the potential to grow this week? Let's put those there. Nine of Wands, the Sun, and the Queen of Cups. Wow. So the Nine of Wands is a difficult card, isn't it? Nines are difficult energies. They're often about things coming to fruition or understandings being met. And with the Nine of Wands, I think it's an understanding that perhaps you might be feeling overworked and overburdened kind of thing, and that there might be some resilience needed to be learned here, or some resilience around this project that you have going on here, or this new start, this new venture, this new beginning, whatever it is that you're trying to build, because there's a feeling of trying to build something here, isn't there? I think you're feeling tired, and perhaps some resilience is the thing that needs to grow here. And to be protective of your energy, actually. There's always so many things, isn't there, that we need to think about all the time, and you can often find that your energy and your focus and your attention just becomes diluted and spread out across many things and many people. And perhaps this card is asking you to be protective of your energy and to find some way to be resilient. And we have some resilience here, because the Sun is often a card of real vitality, isn't it? Inner energy, and real vitality in yourself, having a self-confidence. It is a card of the self, of your outer self, of your energy and what you focus on and what you put out into the world. So we have that energy here. We have that resourcefulness. We have that vitality. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is nice to see, because that is obviously a growth from the Page of Cups, isn't it? Queens are all, they're the bringers of life. They're reflections of the Empress. They're creative. They represent growth and development. And so it's nice to see that there, that progression and that growth. Obviously, on the downside, the Queen of Cups can sometimes represent somebody that's too emotional, somebody that who can be a little bit, what do I want to say? The word hissy fit is coming into my mind, and I didn't want to say it, but can sometimes find everything too overwhelming in life, which is what we've got the feeling of here, isn't it? Also, that feeling of things being overwhelming, being tired. But I think it's time to really draw on your inner vitality and your resilience, and to embody some of these energies of the Queen of Cups around compassion and the tender side of the Queen of Cups. This is a very empathic person, somebody who's a good listener, somebody who's kind, somebody that understands emotions, even if she can sometimes be a little bit overwhelmed by her own. So again, it's making me feel that there is some aspect of this reading that involves the teaching or supporting or the nurturing of somebody that is younger or less experienced than you, in whatever it is that you're trying to build here, that you're trying to embark on this new thing. So yeah, that's what we've got there. And what did we have at the bottom of the deck? We've got the King of Pentacles. So yeah, again, kings represent the sort of driving force. They're like your personal power, aren't they? So I think it's time, you know, with the Sun card here and the King of Pentacles, to really dig deep within your own inner strength and your own resourcefulness, really, to achieve things and get things done, just like the man here in the Eight of Pentacles. So, what do we need to let go of this week, please? I'm just looking at the cards here to see what we've got missing so far. We've got no swords, have we? We've got pentacles, cups and a wand. A couple of court cards, a couple of majors. We've got no swords, have we? So what do we need to let go of, please? Oops. We've got the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the High Priestess. Ah, wow. So in terms of letting go, perhaps, I mean, whenever I look at this Ace of Cups here, this always makes me feel that it's like a bursting out of emotion of perhaps something that's been suppressed or held within, and it's just like come bursting out. So that, you know, whether that might resonate for you, is that you've been holding a lot of emotions inside, feeling not able to express yourself. Perhaps it's time for some of that to change, to let go of that feeling of having to hold things in and let some of that out. Obviously in a healthy and mature way. We don't want to get too much into the more negative side of the Queen of Cups, do we? Where she can become overwhelmed and be prone to emotional outbursts and more destructive emotions. You know, we want this emotion to come out in a very healthy way. And then we've got the Seven of Cups here. And sevens are cards of challenges and obstacles often, but they're also cards of reflection and assessment. The Seven of Cups, I'm trying to think, is Venus in Scorpio, isn't it? So it's a very deep-seated emotional energy. And with this card, we've really got our head in the clouds, haven't we? This is a card of kind of having choices, but being confused about them. There being many possibilities maybe, but it's a kind of daydreaming, illusionary kind of quality that you often have to be very careful about the choices that you make, because some of them may not be what you think that they are. You know, Scorpio always has a sting in its tail. It's not always what you think that it's going to be. So I think with the High Priestess here also, I think this is encouraging us to look to our intuition. You know, there may be secrets around here somewhere. There may be things that are not entirely clear, things that may be hidden. And And the High Priestess is encouraging us to look to our instincts, to our intuition, and to really get a good feel on a situation. So in terms of things to let go of, I would say it's time to get your head out of the clouds, perhaps, to feel some of your emotions that you may have been repressing or suppressing for whatever reason, and to really try and get in touch with your intuition about a matter, about what needs to happen. So yeah, we've got the Fool, the Sun, and the High Priestess here in terms of majors, haven't we? So definitely a new beginning here of some kind, a new path ahead, a new venture, a new project even. I think that's perhaps what I'm seeing here, is a new project, or a new I mean, we have got a lot of cups on the table here, haven't we? We have got a lot of cups on the table. What have we got? The Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So it is a lot of sort of deeply felt emotion, isn't it? Also a lot of intuition and kind of psychic sensitivity when we've got the High Priestess here. So it feels to me like the week ahead is going to be full of kind of flowing emotions, flowing energy. I think that you need to be careful that things don't overflow, because there is certainly cards here of feeling tired, of feeling maybe overworked, and there is a project. There is something that needs to be built. There is something that needs to be achieved. And at the same time, there's all this emotional energy flowing around, isn't there? So I think I would say to be careful to not end up feeling too drained this week, to not allow your emotions to overtake you too much, to try and stay focused on whatever this project is. Like I said, it could easily be something to do with teaching, somebody at work, somebody at home, even yourself needing to learn and start a new project. And I think that you're finding it quite overwhelming, and perhaps resorting to a little bit of daydreaming and yeah, with your kind of, as this, even though this is a cups card, it's your head in the clouds kind of thing, isn't it? None of this emotional energy is down here in your heart. It's all up here in your head. So I think I would say it's important to try and feel some of these emotions, but to not overfeel them, if you know what I mean. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, there's definitely a change here. There's definitely something new, a new start. Something that requires your time, your focus. And I think that, you've got the Sun card here, which is beautiful in the things to grow, isn't it? So, that you have the inner vitality, you have that inner energy. I think it's just a case of being careful around your emotional state. And as I said, we still don't have any swords here on the table, do we? Which is interesting. The swords are about your mind, your thought, your beliefs. communication. And I said, didn't I, that we've got a full moon in Gemini, which is Mercury, which is swords and thoughts and communication. So perhaps, as I said at the very beginning of this reading, perhaps this week is not a time to rush into big conversations. Perhaps it's a time to more sit with yourself and nurture your own inner vitality, nurture your own emotional state to help you to get through whatever this new project or this new start is. Yeah. So let's pull an oracle card. Oops. And see how that lines up with this reading. If we could have an oracle card, please, to reflect this energy here on the table. Oh, they dropped funny. So, the whale, the soul's path. Oh, that's a beautiful card. So whatever this is that's going on here, it's important, isn't it? It's not something that is supposed to be is going to manifest quickly, if you like. You know, the soul's path, this whale here, it's a long term, it's a long it's an energy of persistence, isn't it? And endurance. And, you know, whales, although they're huge, they move very slowly around the oceans, I think. They dive to deep depths, don't they? Which again actually reflects in with all of this cups energy, doesn't it? There's a lot of emotional depth to this reading here. Let's just see quickly what it says in the book. The whale, where are we? There we are. It's time to stop fooling yourself and get moving on your soul's path. Well, there could be a little bit of fooling yourself here with the Seven of Cups. Pay close attention to the subtleties of your experience and listen very carefully. The High Priestess. Listen very carefully to those urgings that are begging you to honour the deepest truths of who you are, not what you think everyone else will approve of. Yeah. I can see that here. But the path that heeds the voice of your soul that's been calling to you since before you were born. Every experience up to this point in your life has shaped you, and even the lives that you've lived before exert their karmic influence. At this point, you can no longer live your life driven solely by ego. Instead, it's important to consciously and consistently attune yourself to your most profound sense of self. Well, this is one of your most profound senses of self, isn't it? The sun. Even though that is a card of ego also, it's definitely a card of self. Align with your spirit's intent. It will take courage and faith to dive into those depths, but you have indeed funded the power and the strength to do so. Claim the destiny that you know is yours and act on it now. This is about migration, devotion, communication, and soul memory. That's really interesting, isn't it? I like that we've got all this water and we've got a whale here when we've got all these cups also. And we've also got the High Priestess, the sun. Really, all that's missing is the moon, isn't it? But yeah. So, good luck with this week. It's it's a week, I think, of changes, of feeling emotions, maybe getting some clarity, needing to protect some of your own inner energy, your own vitality, being able to focus. And get out of here. This is just what I feel very strongly. Get out of this. Head in the clouds. Yeah. So there we go. Please do give me some feedback. Let me know how you felt about this reading, whether it resonates for you or not. Sometimes it's helpful to watch these week ahead readings at the beginning of the week and see what the week might have in store for you, how that's going to play out. And sometimes it's helpful to watch them at the end of the week and reflect on those energies. So anyway, thanks very much for being here with me, sending you all my love, and I will see you all again soon.